All my lives are impromptus. Okay, let's switch. Yes, I'm driving. Heaven changes everything. There's the blue skies. Yes, we have blue skies. Yes, I'm gonna be driving. So yes, I shall put this, let me turn the volume all the way up. So I will point it sky high. Maybe you can get a little bit of a view of the sky. Whew. I'm gonna play catch up. I've been gone for a little bit. I haven't even been in Rita's lives for a while. It's a myriad of reasons. Myriad. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And those of you who can't make it to the live, I know it's impromptu and I'm way out of the algorithm, so I probably won't get a lot of people in here, if any, and that's okay. Whew. I'm just gonna wait a few minutes to see if I can get anybody. Hello, hello. Hopefully everybody can hear me if you're in here. People are in here. It's a beautiful day here. Nice and sunny. My temperature gauge only says 89, so that's actually not bad. I am off today. I've been off this week for bereavement. My father-in-law passed. Oh gosh, it's been exactly a week. Like almost to the time. My father-in-law has been sick for, he was diagnosed about 4 years ago, I think, with supranuclear palsy. And you can look that up, you can Google it. It's a neurological disease. There's no cure, there's only treatments to kind of lessen the effects. But it's debilitating, and it gradually takes away your neurological functioning, takes away your ability to walk, to talk, to basically do everything. It takes away your eyesight, it takes away your all of your functions over time. It starts to have a dementia type effect on your brain. It's another unforgiving disease, illness, and it sucks. And he had a really rough year, and so did his family. And even like down to the last 6 months, it was really bad. And he was stubborn, just as stubborn as think of the most stubborn person you've ever met in your life. That stubborn person is nothing compared to my father-in-law. My father-in-law would crawl to the front door if he wanted to go outside, and that's no lie. He took himself outside because he was determined that there was a root outside that was interfering in the plumbing in his house, and he knew that that's what it was. So he got an axe and got himself outside and was chopping at that root with an axe. There's so many stories. He was very determined, but yeah, he gotten to the point where my stepmother-in-law couldn't really take care of him on her own in the home. So he wanted to stay in his home. She wanted him to stay there in the home. And so my husband and his sister arranged for people to be there with him, a sitter during the day, give his wife a break, so he had a sitter there. And then eventually they had help at night as well, because it was just too much for one person. So it got to that point, and then not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, he got to where he wouldn't get up, and the nurse came in and said basically that he was showing some signs, and she kind of was like, oh, he probably has about another month, so about 30 days. They had put into motion at this point transferring him into a nursing home. And in fact, Todd and his sister were going to meet with this nursing home last week. They were going to get everything finalized. And Monday morning, a week ago, he wouldn't even open his eyes. He wasn't responding. He wouldn't open his eyes. And so his wife called. Well, the nurse came in, and his wife told his wife, you need to call his children. I'm giving him days at this point. So he went downhill extremely fast. And so Todd went there, stayed there virtually until he passed on Wednesday. So Todd was able to be there with him when he did pass, and he went quite peacefully, actually, according to Todd. But it's been, it's one of those things where you know it's coming. You've known for years, but still, when it happens, it's still a loss. And Sunday was, so at his funeral service, we sang happy birthday to him. And when we went to the graveside service, boy, there was one heck of a thunderstorm. I've never been to a graveside service or a funeral where there is a loud, booming thunderstorm. I mean, the thunder was clapping, and there was lightning. And so everybody said, that's Melvin up in heaven telling God, this is how we're going to do it now that I'm up here. And God was saying, nope, you can't do it your way up here, son. So they were clashing. That was a running joke, because that's just about how stubborn and hard-headed Melvin was, that he is the one that would tell God himself that he is not doing it God's way. He's going to do it his own way. But that's where I've been. It's just been, Todd's been spending a lot of his time with his daddy. Are we connected? Did I go through a black hole? Are we back? I think we're back. I don't know where I left off. Where did I leave off? What was I talking about? What was I talking about when it started spinning? Can anyone tell me? I see you, Rita. Oh, wow, that far back. Yeah, Todd was able to be with his dad. And Todd's sister, and Melvin's wife, Kathy, was with him. And Kathy's daughter was there too. So everybody, people were with him when he passed. And yeah, I'm back. I went through a black hole. Did you hear what I said about his funeral service? Did you catch that? How is Kathy doing? His funeral service was Sunday, and in case you guys didn't catch that, it would have been his 80th birthday, and so we sang happy birthday to him at his service, which was kind of emotional. And when we went to the graveside, yeah, the thunderstorms, so y'all did catch that. Kathy is, we went Monday and spent the afternoon with her, had lunch, and because she had a lot of food, so Ethan and Todd and I went, and she's dealing with a lot. She's got a lot on her mind. She's got a lot of things to deal with. She's doesn't know if she wants to stay in the house. She doesn't know if she wants to go somewhere else. And we kept telling her, you don't have to decide everything all at once. And I think her mind is just spinning. She's got a lot of memories in that house that aren't the greatest, and so, but then again, it's just, I don't know. I think she's just taking it a day at a time. Todd has gone back down there. We had a meeting at the courthouse to go over the will and everything. And that's where I'm coming back home from. And Todd's gone back down, and he's gonna cut some grass. His dad had a lot of property, and part of that property is now Todd's, a lot of land. So, and a lot of that land is clear of trees, so he's got some responsibility now, and he's got to go down there, and he's got to cut the grass. So he's gone down there to take care of that, and then he's going to go by the house and see Kathy for a little bit, and I think she's got more food that she's going to give him. So just check in with her and see what's going on. I think some of it is she's kind of scared that Todd and his sister are gonna just be gone or shoo her out of the house. I think she's just feeling unstable at the moment. We tried to reassure her on Monday, Todd especially. Todd's a good man. Todd wants to do what's right by her, and I think he's trying to reassure her of that. So she's just dealing with a lot. So y'all keep her in prayer. She's got so many emotions going on right now. And again, it's one of those things where you knew it was coming. She knew it was coming, but it just kind of happened so suddenly. Nobody was expecting it to be this sudden. So just keep her in prayer. Y'all still there? I think she's, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is, Rita. And she doesn't like staying in the house by herself. She's never stayed by herself. And that's, she's 70 years old. So she's never stayed by herself. Her daughter's been staying there with her. Her daughter works night shifts, and she's on night shifts right now. And so there's some adjustment there. She's just used to at least Melvin being there with her. Even if he was a handful at night, at least he was there. So it's a lot to adjust to. So we're going to keep in touch with her and just, I guess, hold her hand and walk her through some stuff. And there's a lot of loose ends that need to be taken care of. He didn't put everything in his will. So there's just there's farm equipment, and there's tractors and buildings of stuff, and there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be handled that he didn't put in his will that needs to be taken care of. And yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's a long haul. So anyways, well, that's where I've been. And I've been watching, when I can, I've been watching the Karen Read trial. And I've been hemming and hawing about, do I want to go back and go through all of the testimony? And I thought about, well, I could do it on my channel. But you know, my free time, I'm limited on my free time. And they had so much testimony. It was like 30 some days of testimony. So much testimony. It would probably take me a year to get through all that testimony on my channel with everybody. So I'm still trying to think about it. Do I cherry pick the testimony and go through bits and pieces of it? It ended on a hung jury. I'll just tell you right now, I think she's not guilty. I think that, and I don't know what happened to the man. I don't think that the state proved the case. I don't think they proved it to me. I don't think that they proved beyond a reasonable doubt that she hit him with her SUV. I don't. And I went into this case totally open-minded with very limited information. All I knew about it was that they were saying, the theory is that she backed into him with her SUV, hit him, and left him to die in the snow. That's basically really all I knew. So I started, because there are so many people, there's so many names of people that I didn't pay attention to any pre-hearings or any drama or anything like that. I usually don't anyway before I go into a trial, because I don't do well with names unless I really have faces on them. And I know that, especially if you have a murder, there's a lot of emotions that go into it. So I try not to pay attention to the drama that surrounds it all until I want the facts of the case. So I want to see the trial. I want to see the facts presented. So that's how I went into this case. Hey, Nancy. And Kathy, I didn't say hi to you, Kathy. So I did. I went into it complete. That was all I knew what was happening. That was the theory. So I watched I had every day of the trial I had on because I was working. But I know there were things that I missed. But I paid attention to the scientific stuff. I paid attention to the medical examiner. I paid attention to the police. I paid attention to the accident reconstructionists on both sides, for the state and for the defense. And they did not prove to me that she hit him. His injuries were not that of a vehicle accident. They need to try again to convince me. So they had a hung jury. I thought the judge was lacking. I thought she did a piss poor job of explaining things to the jury, the charges and what their duty really was. I thought that the state lawyer, the DA, was really crappy. The defense attorney was very dynamic. All three of them. They crafted their story very well. The DA did a crappy job of presenting a timeline. His timelines were all over the place. Everybody said something different about times. I came out of his side of it not knowing what he was trying to say, because everybody had different timelines. So it was like he was trying to defend these families more than he was trying to prosecute Karen Read. I'm like, who's on trial here? That's how murky his case was. Who is on trial? Are you trying to prosecute Karen Read? Or are you trying to defend other people in the community? Because it sounds to me like you're trying to defend all these other people. It was just weird. I've never seen a case like it in my life. And the police investigation was totally off the wall. I've never seen any evidence collected in red Solo cups. They used a leaf blower to blow around the snow. There were no crime scene photos. They didn't investigate the house where the body was found on the front lawn. They never went inside and investigated the house. They interviewed all the people who were supposedly eyewitnesses. They interviewed them in their home all together. They didn't even take them down to the precinct to interview them by themselves. None of them were interviewed on video. There are no recordings of their interviews. There's no report of their interviews that are signed. Like, they didn't have them signed, their statements. Nothing. There's no chain of custody logs, like showing who obtained the blood samples in the snow and put them in the red yellow cups, what time they were entered into evidence. It was a mess, totally a mess. I've never seen a case like this ever in my life. I was floored, absolutely floored. And their own medical examiner couldn't really tell you for sure that he was killed by a motor vehicle. She was like, well, it could be that. And then the defense gets up and says, well, couldn't it also be from this or this? And she's like, yeah, it could also be from that. Or it could be from that, yeah. I'm like, really? I mean, I had so much reasonable doubt. I wouldn't have been able to convict her on anything. Not even drunk driving. Because in my knowledge, and I'm not an expert, but I believe to be convicted of a DUI, somebody has to see you driving drunk. Like, they have to do the testing on you in that moment. You can't go back hours later and draw blood and say, oh, well, you were driving drunk 8 hours prior. You were driving, and now, and it wasn't even a blood alcohol level that they got. It was some other kind of level. So it wasn't even a true blood alcohol level. But they were going to try to say she was operating while under the influence 8 hours before. But the police never saw her driving. It was just so odd. The whole thing was just so odd to me. Yeah, I mean, and there were key people that they didn't even go and talk to until months or a year later. So these people would have had a chance to talk to each other or other key witnesses to get their stories straight. Don't tell me that couldn't happen. Don't tell me that. And don't tell me that police can't be corrupt. I'm not stupid. People are like, oh, well, that can't be possible. The police wouldn't cover for somebody. Well, if he's a Boston police, if he's a Boston cop, then, and another Boston cop, you're going to tell me that another Boston cop wouldn't come out and cover for another Boston cop? If they were homies and if they've known each other for decades, you're going to tell me they wouldn't cover for each other? Come on. If you honestly believe that there are no corrupt cops out there, then you have led a charmed life and you've got rose-colored glasses on. You need to take them glasses off and get real with yourself. I'm not saying all cops are dirty. By far, most are probably on the up and up. But I'm telling you, there are some dirty freaking cops. There's dirt in every profession. Every profession, there's some nasty stuff that goes on. Nasty. And in this case, I honestly believe that there's a handful of some nasty nasties that went on in that police force. And you got some Massachusetts state cops that are nasty of the nasties, that had some light shown on them. Nasty. Nasty. And I pray to God that the light continues to be shown on these people for their nasty deeds, and they get exposed, that the corruption gets exposed, and all of the good cops come out shining, and that they can no longer be afraid of any repercussions on their families, their children, and all of that, because you know that stuff goes on. You know the good cops are scared to speak out. They're scared to speak out because they don't want retribution. They don't want it. They've got kids, they have families, and they don't want their families hurt by these nasty people. It happens. It's not just a movie on Netflix. It's real life, and it happens. I'm all right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, but it happens. What about all the scratches and bite marks? Why was the family's house new phones and got that's it? It's all suspicious, Kathy. And that was the house of the Boston cop. They got John's body, his arm was brought up as if he was in a defensive. I'm parked now. I'm at my parents' house to get Ethan. Almost like he had brought his arm up as in a defensive move, and his whole arm was covered with what looked like bite marks and scratches from a dog. And what did they do? They rehomed their German Shepherd dog not shortly after. I'm sorry. His body, I can't get past the wounds on his body or the lack of the wounds. If he had gotten hit by a 6,000-pound SUV, he had no bruises on his arm. Not a bruise. Not a broken bone. Nothing. His entire torso. No bruises. No broken bones. Nothing. And you gonna tell me that man got hit by an SUV? Going 24 miles an hour? That didn't happen. I'm not stupid. Don't play me for a fool. There's some intimidation going on. There's some intimidation going on. Common sense. It's common sense. And they're saying they're intending to retry her. They need a new judge because the judge suppressed a lot of evidence from being shown and a lot of visuals from being used in her defense. They need a new judge in the retrial. Actually, what they need to do is, why did they even try her in the first place? That evidence is so shoddy. They never should have brought the trial. They're stupid to retry it because the lead investigator is now, he's on desk duty, pending further internal affairs investigation. They waited until after they got the hung jury to put him on basically administrative leave. He's on desk duty. He's pushing paper clips now. They took his badge and his gun. He can't be on the streets anymore. He's no longer an investigator. Yeah, that happened like the day after the verdict came back. So he's no longer an investigator. So what were they going to do if they came back guilty? What were they going to do? Just let him go on his merry way and keep harassing women? Keep harassing women the way he does? Rita, his text messages, the lead investigator on this case was sending text messages to his sister and to a group of buddies from high school about the investigation, telling them facts of what was going on in his investigation, calling Karen Read derogatory names that I'm not even going to say. Just the C word, calling her that. Karen Read has medical issues, has Crohn's disease, and has been through multiple bowel surgeries. So just use your imagination. He was using derogatory terms about her medical issues and told his friends about it. They were talking about her physical appearance. And they read them out in court because they wanted the jury, the defense wanted the jury. No, actually, he made him read them to the jury. And what else? He texted his sister, maybe she'll just kill herself. Hi, Daddy.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm just on a YouTube live.
Oh, okay.
I'll be in a minute.
All right.
That's my daddy. But yeah, he texted his sister, maybe she'll just kill herself. And then his sister texted back, maybe she will. That will make it so much easier on his family. Yeah, that was the lead investigator and his lovely sister. Yeah, good people. That's a cop. That was a Boston cop. He already went back inside. But yeah, just disgusting stuff. Just nasty stuff. And in one text group, his immediate supervisor was in that text group, and he said, I'm looking through her phone. And this was before he got a search warrant for her phone. So he was looking through her phone before he even got a warrant to do so. I'm looking through her phone right now. I haven't found any nudes yet. Yeah. And his immediate supervisor laughed. He thought that was funny. He thought, oh, that's funny. I mean, just absolutely disgusting. Just disgusting behavior. How can you even... The integrity of the entire case gone. Just gone. Absolutely gone. You take that and then pile on all the lack of scientific evidence, and you have no case. She's not guilty. English or Spanish? English. But it just floored me. Just floored me. There's so much more. I mean, 30-some days, a lot of it was wasted time. It was just gossip. No. Hold on. But anyways, yeah, it just infuriating case. So we'll see. They said they plan to retry her. They have a certain time period, I believe, that they have to file charges. The next hearing is the 22nd of July. So, yeah, I heard that, Kathy. One of them was a retired cop.
What is a YouTube live? There's Nana.
He's like a magnet when I'm live. He's like a magnet. Yeah, my mama just got back too. So he was at my parents' house while I went to the courthouse to be with Todd while he was doing all the will stuff. So it's a learning process. We've never lost a parent before. So all of this is just a learning, trying to figure out what is a probate tax. I don't know, what our responsibilities are now. And I'll tell him you said hi. He's gotten out now and run over to his Nana. So he's so silly. Yeah, it's just a lot of learning curve for us. I'm going to talk to my mama now and tell her you put every single thing in your will so that it's cut and dry. Please. I'm the type where I'm not going to fight anybody. I'm not fighting anybody over stuff.
Hi. Hi. Happy 4th of July tomorrow. We got a birthday to celebrate.
I know we do, don't we?
Yes. Yes, she's older than me now.
Who?
My daughter.
Deborah?
Yes.
She's older than you.
Yes, all of y'all are.
We're all older than you?
Yes.
Okay.
That gets me through the day.
Because you start going down while everyone else keeps going up.
Exactly.
Well, he's got all his stuff and everything. I don't need to go inside.
Well, you could help carry groceries. Both of you.
Well, I could.
Well, you could. And I'll feed you a hamburger tomorrow. Or a hot dog.
Yay!
I just want the cake.
I want you to see the cake.
All right, I'll come in.
So cute. Bye, people.
Y'all going by?
Yeah, I'm gonna get off of here.
They go by now.
We'll go bye-bye now. He's taller than you. Look at that. Taller than you.
I'm stupid.
Yeah. He's standing on a brick, right?
Yeah, Mama should be toast.
A cinder block. Bye.
Bye. All right.
Hey, Shaw.
Shut the door.
Shut the door, okay.
All right. Yep. All right. What'd you say? I want to know what the jury count. How many voted guilty or innocent? I do too. I'm anxious to hear that, and I'm sure the jury is like deprocessing everything, and eventually, I'm sure someone will speak out and come out and give an interview. But yeah, I will. I'll tell everybody you guys said hello. It's just stuff. I want pictures. I want the pictures, videos, things like that. And a couple of keepsake pieces of jewelry from my mama. You know, things like that that are sentimental. All this other stuff, I don't care about that. Yep. All that other stuff will fade away. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to go and help her with groceries. And we will talk soon. Very soon, I promise. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for everybody who's been praying for my family, for my father-in-law. I will say that we are confident that he is in heaven. Todd is very confident. He was able to have conversations with him and prayers with him. And we're very confident. We sleep well at night regarding that fact. So, yeah, Todd and I talked about it, and I asked him point blank the other night. This was before his dad took a turn for the worse. I asked him, I said, Todd, do you know for a fact, is your dad saved? Does he know Jesus? And so we had a talk, and he told me about a few things, and so yeah, we're very comforted in that fact. So yes, so thank you for all your prayers, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Keep being kind to each other. There's way too much meanness in this world. Bye.